WordPress co-founder warns that lawsuits could mean the end of WordPress.org. Tech leaders launch a $30 million campaign to protect BlueSky and Mastodon. And OpenAI drops their commitment to AI being politically unbiased, raising some concerns. Welcome to Hashtag Trending. I'm your host, Jim Love. When we think of huge open source successes, we naturally think of things like Linux, but there's another huge open source success story that every one of us touches every single day. WordPress powers close to 30% of the world's websites. 2 out of 5 sites are delivered with that software, and it is a huge ecosystem of developers and contributors. And according to one of its founders, Matt Mullenweg, WordPress.org, the central focus of that community, could be coming to an end. Now, how did this come about? The conflict started when Mullenweg moved to cut off a hosting provider, WP Engine, and their access to critical WordPress resources. WP Engine claimed that Mullenweg was trying to push their company out of business. Mullenweg claimed that they were freeloaders, taking advantage of all the work that the WordPress community has put in, but not contributing anything back, and competing with WordPress's own hosting business. So he tried to block them from using the WordPress trademark and more. He arbitrarily cut them and others off from their WordPress.org accounts. At least that's the story. It's very confusing, but that's the best I can piece together of this story. WP Engine said that Mullenweg's actions were going to hurt or even destroy their WordPress hosting business, and in response, WP Engine filed a lawsuit, prompting what is likely to be a prolonged battle. And although Mullenweg claims the lawsuits could bankrupt him or force WordPress.org to shut down, he remains steadfast in his position and insists that the only resolution is for WP Engine to drop their legal action. But a federal judge disagreed and sided with WP Engine, halting Mullenweg's attempts to disrupt the hosting company's operations. In the meantime, the WordPress community is alarmed. Users have expressed concerns about the platform's stability. Some developers are considering alternatives like Drupal or Classic Press. A prominent user pleaded with Mullenweg on social media, emphasizing the importance of stability for the livelihoods of the thousands of developers and agencies who use WordPress. Despite the community backlash, Mullenweg remains resolute, warning that the legal case could stretch into 2026 or even 2027. And he's doubled down and closed the accounts of others who he thinks are opposed to his actions. Who's right and who's wrong? Doesn't really matter much to the thousands of people who have invested in services and software associated with WordPress. And with neither side backing down, the future of WordPress.org is in jeopardy. A group of tech leaders has launched a $30 million campaign called Free Our Feeds to protect decentralized platforms like BlueSky from corporate takeovers. BlueSky, originally co-founded by former Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey, has gained popularity as an alternative to Twitter, now called X. Dorsey has walked away from BlueSky, grumbling about something I'm not really sure what it was. But this new campaign aims to ensure that BlueSky's open source infrastructure remains under community control, even if ownership changes. The campaign has the backing of figures like Wikipedia founder Jimmy Wales and Mozilla's Mark Surman. Actor Mark Ruffalo is also a supporter. All the funds gathered will go towards creating a foundation to safeguard BlueSky from billionaire influence. Meanwhile, Mastodon, another decentralized platform, is transitioning to a non-profit ownership. Founder Eugen Rochko is stepping back to ensure the platform remains independent of any single wealthy individual or corporation. Both efforts reflect growing concerns about billionaire influences on social media and a desire to preserve user control over these platforms. OpenAI has quietly removed language in its policies that said its AI models should remain politically unbiased. The change coincides with Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg rolling back fact-checking measures on Facebook and Instagram. And Elon Musk continues to block critics on his platform X, despite claiming that he supports free speech. Now, the critics are arguing that these moves indicate growing political influence over these tech platforms. The removal of the clause saying that AI should be politically unbiased raises concerns that OpenAI may be forcing pressure to align with political agendas. Zuckerberg, for his point, recently mysteriously discovered the flaws in Meta's fact-checking approach, which some say is an attempt for him to sidle up to the new Trump administration. Meanwhile, Musk's selective moderation practices have been called out as contradictory to his free speech stance. In the US, there has been a backlash against what some call woke policies in tech. Others see this as a smokescreen for political interference. But the fear is that politicized tech governance will erode trust and undermine what should be the objective role of AI and social media platforms. The trend raises important questions about the balance between content moderation and freedom of expression and political influence in this digital age. That's our show for today. You can reach me with tips, comments, and even some constructive criticism at editorial@technewsday.ca. I'm your host, Jim Love. Have a wonderful Wednesday.